Welcome to session 4 of unit 3 in learning the course Design and Analysis of Algorithms. In our previous sessions, we seen the general method of dynamic programming and its applications. The first application that we seen is multi-stage graphs, and also we seen optimal binary search trees. In this session, we are going to discuss about another application of dynamic programming, which is nothing but matrix chain multiplication. Coming to the objectives of this session, the main objectives of this session are to understand matrix chain multiplication problem, to solve matrix chain multiplication application by following dynamic programming. The learning outcomes of this session are, by listening this session, one can understand matrix chain multiplication problem statement and also able to follow dynamic programming strategy to develop algorithm for solving matrix chain multiplication application. The topics that we are going to discuss in this session are problem statement of matrix chain multiplication, its algorithm which is developed using dynamic programming, and an example problem. Coming to the problem statement, matrix chain multiplication or matrix chain ordering problem. Here the matrix chain multiplication problem is also called as matrix chain ordering problem, is an optimization problem used to find the most efficient way to multiply given sequence of matrices. Here the matrix chain multiplication problem is to find the efficient way to multiply given sequence of matrices. To find the efficient way to multiply the given sequence of matrices. The problem is not actually to perform the multiplication. Here we are not multiplying the matrices in case of this matrix chain multiplication. Just we are going to decide the sequence of multiplications involved. That is, it is used to determine the optimal parentheses of a product of n matrices. That is, for example, if we given some a sequence of matrices for multiplication, that is, if we given the sequence of matrices A1, A2, A3, A4. Suppose if I want to multiply these four matrices, here the matrix chain multiplication not involves the multiplication of these four matrices. It goes for deciding the order of multiplication, in which order we are going to multiply these matrices. So we are multiplying in this order, that is A1 into A2. First we are going to multiply A1 into A2. The result is multiplied with A3 and the final result is multiplied with A4. Or we are going to multiply in this way. That is, first we are multiplying A2, A3. The A1 is multiplied with the result obtained from A2, A3, and that result is multiplied with A4. Or we are multiplying in this way. That is, we are multiplying A1, A2 and we are multiplying A3, A4, both the results are multiplied. So, in which way we are multiplying, in which order we are multiplying, that is, what is the optimal parenthetizations? These are nothing but the parenthetizations. So, if we parenthesize like this, first we are multiplying these two, then we are multiplying the result with A3, then we are multiplying that with A4. If we parenthesize like this, first we are multiplying this one, then the result is multiplied with A1, finally this is multiplied with A4. If we are giving the parenthesization like this, these two are multiplied, these two are multiplied, finally the results two are multiplied. That is, in which parenthesization we are going to multiply. So, every parenthesization having its own number of multiplications involved. If you want to perform one matrix multiplication, if you want to perform the multiplication of two 2 by 2 matrices, if you perform the multiplication of two 2 by 2 matrices, generally it involves 8 multiplications. Generally, it involves 8 multiplications. So, in the same way, if you want to perform these matrices, these also involve some number of multiplications. Which type of parenthization gives result with less number of multiplications? That is called as optimal parenthization. Now, what is the optimal parenthization? That is, in which order we are going to multiply the given sequence of matrices. That we are going to find in case of matrix chain multiplications. Here, you have to observe one thing. The matrix chain multiplication problem is not multiplying the matrices. We are going to find the optimal order of multiplication, right? Given, so for example here, for explaining that, for example, I have taken 3 matrices A1, A2, A3. As we know that the matrix multiplication is associative. We know that the matrix multiplication follows the associative law, and that is A1 into A2 into A3 is equal to A1 into A2 into A3. So that is associative law. So here we represented 2 parenthezizations. This is one parenthization and this is other way of parenthization. Now, out of these 2 parenthezizations, which parenthization is optimal? Out of those 2 parenthezizations, which parenthization is optimal? That is, which parenthization completes the multiplication process with less number of multiplications? So, which method? Whether this parenthization completes the total multiplication process with less number of multiplications, or this parenthization completes the total process with less number of multiplications. We need to find what is the optimal parenthezizations out of those 2. Okay, now the time complexity of matrix chain multiplication problem is big O of n cube. The time complexity is big O of n cube. Let us see, for example, here how to find in a manual way, how to find the number of multiplications involved in any parenthization. Let us see, for explaining that, here I have taken 4 matrices and also their dimensions. A1 of dimensions D0 into D1, A2 of dimensions D1 into D2, A3 of dimensions D2 into D3, A4 of dimensions D3 into D4. So, here what is the optimal parenthezizations for the sequence of multiplication of these 4 matrices? Suppose if I want to multiply these 4 matrices in sequence. Now, what the various parenthezizations involved in this sequence of matrices? So, here I represented the 4 parenthezizations, the 5 parenthezizations which are involved in the sequence of matrices. This is the first parenthization, which is nothing but A1 into A2, A3 into A4. First I am performing A1 into A2, then I am performing A2 into A3 into A4. These 2 are again multiplied. Now, how many multiplications required to complete entire this multiplication? Let us see. A1 into A2. What is the dimension of A1 into A2? D0 into D1. What is the dimensions of A2? A2 dimensions D1 into D2. Now, A1 into A2 can be completed with the multiplications D0 into D1 into D2. Here, the dimensions of A1 are D0 into D1, dimensions of A2 are D1 into D2. So, the multiplication of A1, A2 can be completed with D1 into D0 into D1 into D2 number of multiplications. Now, how this, with which number of multiplications this can be completed? What are the dimensions of A2, A3, D2 into D3? What are the dimensions of A4, D3 into D4? Now, in which number of multiplications A3, A4 can be completed? D2 into D3 into D4. These are the number of multiplications required to complete this parenthization. Now, here, what the result? What is the dimensions of resultant matrix by multiplying A1, A2? The resultant matrix dimensions are D0 by D2. Here the resultant matrix dimensions are D2 by D4. Here the multiplication of these two resultant matrices requires how many number of multiplications? D0 into D2 into D4, D0 into D2 into D4. So totally to complete this entire multiplication, how many number of multiplications are required? The number of multiplications required for this multiplication plus the number of multiplications required for this multiplication plus the number of multiplications required for this one. The number of multiplications required for this parenthization are D0 into D1 into D2. The number of multiplications required for this parenthization are D2 into D3 into D4. The number of multiplications required for these two results is D0 into D2 into D4. So this entirely gives the number of multiplications required to complete this entire sequence of multiplication. Now here I represented other sequences. In the same way we can calculate the number of multiplications required for all these. So here you can observe D1 into D2, which can be completed with D0 into D1 into D2 multiplications, and the resultant matrix is D0 by D2, D0 by D2. Here the A3 matrix whose dimensions are D2 by D3. So the multiplication of these two can be completed by D0 into D2 into D3, D0 into D2 into D3, and the final resultant matrix is D0 by D3, and A4 size is D3 by D4. So how the resultant matrix is multiplied with A4. How many number of multiplications required? D0 into D3 into D4, D0 into D3 into D4. By adding all these number of multiplications, we get the total number of multiplications required to complete this sequence of multiplication. In the same way, you can represent for these also. So to give you the clarification on this, I given an example. Let us see the example. Here A1 dimensions are 10 by 30, A2 dimensions are 30 by 5, A3 dimensions are 5 by 60. Now the two possible parenthezizations are A1 into A2 into A3, A1 into A2 into A3. Now let us see. Suppose if I am considering the first parenthization A1 into A2 into A3, how many number of multiplications required? Let us see. Here A1 dimensions are 10 by 30, A2 dimensions are 30 by 5, 30 by 5. Now to multiply A1 with A2, how many number of multiplications required? 10 into 30 into 5. 10 into 30 into 5. Now the resultant matrix dimensions are 10 by 5. The resultant matrix dimensions are 10 by 5. Now A3 dimensions are 5 by 60. A3 dimensions are 5 by 60. Now to multiply the resultant matrix, that is A1 into A2 with A3, how many number of multiplications required? 10 into 5 into 60. So for the first process A1 into A2, we need this number of multiplications. For the second process, the result is multiplied with A3, we need this number of multiplications. Now the total number of multiplications required to perform A1 into A2 into A3 are this one plus this one, that is 10 into 30 into 5 plus 10 into 5 into 60. If you do this one, we will get 4500 operations. Now if you see the next one, A2 into A3, what are the dimensions of A2? 30 by 5. What are the dimensions of A3? 5 by 60. So totally how many multiplications we need? 30 into 5 into 60. 30 into 5 into 60. Now the resultant matrix is of size 30 by 60. The resultant matrix size is 30 by 60. And what is A1 size? A1 size is 10 by 30. And resultant matrix size is 30 by 60. How many number of multiplications we need? 10 into 30 into 60. By adding these two terms, will get the total number of multiplications required to do this multiplications. So by adding these two, we will get 27,000 operations. So this parenthization requires 4,500 multiplications. This parenthization requires 27,000 multiplications. Which is less? This one is less. So this is the optimal parenthization to multiply these three matrices with the given dimensions. These three matrices with the given dimensions, this becomes the optimal parenthization. Now, since we given just three matrices, manually we can find which is the optimal parenthization. But if you given more number of matrices, it is not possible for us to find the optimal parenthization out of the existing parenthezizations. So that's why for the generalization, we go for algorithm. So the algorithm can be developed by following dynamic programming, right? Now here, before going to know about algorithm, how the matrices, the parenthezizations of sequence of matrices can be represented by using tree structures. Let us see the tree structures. Here, if you represent A2 matrix here, A3 matrix here, this state, the state of this tree represents the multiplication of A2 and A3. Now, if you represented here A1 we have, which is multiplied with A2 and A3, we can represent this as A1 into A2 into A3. Now, in the same way, here I have A1, A2, which multiplied, the result is multiplied with A3. So, A1 into A2, first we are multiplying A1 into A2. So, parenthization is given for A1 into A2. That result is multiplied with A3. So, here we represented A3. So, these two are the parenthezizations exist for the given three matrices. By following these tree structures only, we can find the optimal parenthization of given sequence of matrices, right? Now, see the algorithm for finding matrix chain multiplication or optimal order of multiplication of given sequence of matrices. Let us see the algorithm. Algorithm P of 0 to n, comma n. Here n is number of matrices. P0 to n are the dimensions given for those matrices. N is number of matrices. P0 to n are dimensions of those matrices. Now, here for I is equal to 1 to n, Cii is equal to 0. That is cost of multiplying 1 itself, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, so on is 0. Now, here we taken another variable length, which refers to the number of multiplications in a subproblem. Here we are going to divide the problem into subproblems. The solutions of those subproblems are tabulated. Okay, in dynamic programming, the general method of dynamic programming itself is dividing the problem into subproblems. These subproblems are solved and the solutions are tabulated. Now, here also we are going to divide the problem into subproblems. Now, how many number of multiplications are required in each subproblem? To find that one, we are taking a variable which is nothing but length. For length is equal to 1 to n minus 1 and for I is equal to 1 to n minus length, we are taking j is equal to I plus length and I less than or equal to k less than j and Cij. Here we are finding the cost of multiplying those matrices. The cost of multiplying those matrices, which is nothing but minimum of Cik plus Ck plus 1j Pi minus 1 into Pk into Pj. Here Sij is equal to k. Sij represents the node values. For the construction of tree, we need node values. The node values are represented by using Sij. Now here what k value we have to take as Sij? K is at minimum of Cij. Which k value? Here k lies as like this, I less than or equal to k less than j. Here k may contain one value or two values or three values. Which k value minimizes the cost? That k value is taken as here Sij value, and finally written C1n, which gives the cost of optimal parenthization. Now I will explain you this algorithm by taking an example. Let us see, here I taken 4 matrices whose dimensions are given as 30 by 1, 1 by 40, 40 by 10 and 10 by 25. Now I can represent all these dimensions as P0 is equal to 30, P1 is equal to 1, P2 is equal to 40, P3 is equal to 10 and P4 is equal to 25. Now here you given the dimensions as 30 by 1, 1 by 40, 40 by 10, 10 by 25. I can represent those dimensions as single values with P0 to P4. Now P0 is 30, P1 is 1, P2 is 40, P3 is 10 and P4 is 25. Now here these are various subproblems that I am obtaining by solving this one. Okay, now here these are the values that we are obtaining by solving this problem. Now how to obtain these values? I will explain you. Here let us see how to obtain these values. Now here first for I is equal to 1 to n. Here what is n? Here we given for I is equal to 1 to n, Cii is equal to 0. For I is equal to 1 to n, Cii is equal to 0. What is n value? N is number of matrices. Here I given 4 matrices, 1 to 4. So I takes 4 values. Is equal to 1. If I take I is equal to 1, C11 is equal to 0. If I is equal to 2, C22 is equal to 0. If I is equal to 3, C33 is equal to 0. If I is equal to 4, C44 is equal to 0. Now the same values I represented here. 1 1, C11 0, C22 0, C33 0, C44 0. I represented in the table. Next later what I need to find? So after that we need to take for length is equal to 1 to n minus 1. Here n is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. How many values that length takes? Length takes 3 values. Those 3 values are 1, 2, 3. And for I is equal to 1 to n minus length. N minus length. Here I value is based on length value. What the length value that we are considering? Based on that length value we need to take I value. Now here first I am taking length is equal to 1. Length is equal to 1. Then what becomes I values? 1 to n minus length, that is 4 minus 1, that is 1 to 3. I values are 3. Here what the 3 cases that we are getting? Length is equal to 1, I is equal to 1. Length is equal to length is equal to 1, I is equal to 2. Length is equal to 1, I is equal to 3. Here we are getting 3 cases for length is equal to 1. What are those 3 cases? Length 1, I1. Since I takes 3 values, for length 1 I takes 3 values, we can write length 1 I1, length 1 I2, length 1 I3. 3 values are obtained. Now we get 3 cases. Now how to solve these 3 cases? Let us see. Now I am going to solve the first case, which is nothing but L is equal to 1. That is length is equal to 1, I is equal to 1. What is the first step? J is equal to I plus length, that is 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 2. J value is 2. Now what is the next step? I less than or equal to k less than j. I is 1 less than or equal to k less than j. That is 1 less than or equal to k less than 2. That is k is an integer value which is equal to either 1 or which lies between 1 and 2. Is there any integer value between 1 and 2? No. So that's why k takes only one value which is nothing but 1. Here k is equal to 1 or k lies between 1 and 2. But there is no any integer between 1 and 2. So we can take k as 1. So k value becomes 1. Now I am going to find the cost. See ij, I is 1, j is 2, C12 is equal to, what is the cost of C12? Minimum of Cik, that is C11, I is 1, k is 1 plus Ck plus 1 j. Here k plus 1, k is 1, k plus 1 means 2, j means 2, C22 plus Pi minus 1. What is I? 1. Pi minus 1 means P naught. Pk, what is k? 1. P1. Next Pj, what is j? P2. So since k takes only one value, this itself becomes the minimum value. That is, here what is C11? 0. C22? 0. What is P0? 30. What is P1? 1. What is P2? 40. By multiplying these three values, what the value will get? 1200. So here let us see 1200 is the cost of multiplying that one. C12 which is nothing but 1200 and its corresponding k value I written in the braces which is nothing but 1. Here within the braces we written the corresponding k value, for which k value we are getting that minimum cost that we are writing, that is 1200 and k value is 1. In the same way we can solve the next values also. Now here in the next case what we are taking? The second case. Now I am going to show you the second case of solving this particular problem. Now what is the second case? L is equal to 1, I is equal to 2. Now in this case j is equal to I plus length, that is 2 plus 1 which is nothing but 3. J is equal to 3. I plus length, I is 2, length is 1, that is 3. Now what becomes k value? I less than or equal to k less than j. I is 2 less than or equal to k less than 3. That is k is equal to either 2 or it lies between 2 and 3. Since there is no any integer between 2 and 3, we are taking k value as 2. Now I am going to find cost of ij, that is cost of 2, 3 is equal to minimum of cost of, what is first one? Cost of ik, I is 2, k is 2 plus cost of k plus 1j, k is 2, k plus 1 becomes 3 and j is 3, that is cost of 3, 3 plus pi minus 1, here I is 2, pi minus 1 means p1 and pk, that is p2, pj, that is p3. Now here this is equal to C22 is 0, C33 is 0 and p1 is 1, p2 is 40 and p3 is 10. Now here by multiplying all these values we will get 400, we will get 400 and k value is 2, that is C23. Here you can observe C23 which is nothing but 400 and its corresponding k value is 2. Its corresponding k value is 2. Now in the same way I am going to take the third case which is nothing but L is equal to 1, I is equal to 3. In this case j is equal to I plus L length which is nothing but 3 plus 1, that is 4. J value is 4. Now I less than or equal to k less than j, 3 less than or equal to k less than 4, that is k value becomes 3. Now what is cost of 3, 4? This is equal to minimum of cost of I is 3, k is 3 plus cost of k plus 1 j 4 4 plus p k minus 1, sorry, p I minus 1, p I is since 3 p2 and pk that is p3 and pj that is p4. This is equal to minimum of 0, C33 is 0, C44 is 0 plus P2 is 40 and P3 is 10 and P4 is 25. By multiplying these three values we will get 10,000. We will get 10,000 and its corresponding K value is 3. Here you can observe C34, its corresponding value is 10,000 and its K value is 3. K value is 3. Now we completed the three cases related to length is equal to 1. But length contains another two values. What are those two values? Length contains another two values. What are those two values? Length is equal to 2, length is equal to 3. These two values that we have. Then what are the I values? I is equal to 1 to n minus length, that is 4 minus 2, that is equal to 1 to 2. That is, for length is equal to 2, I gets two values, that are I is equal to 1, length is equal to 2, I is equal to 2. These two cases that we get. In the same way, when length is equal to 3, I is equal to 1 to 4 minus 3, that is 1 to 1. I takes here only one value, which is nothing but length is equal to 3, I is equal to 1. Here we are obtaining again three cases. What are those three cases? Length is equal to 2, I is equal to 1. Length is equal to 2, I is equal to 2. Length is equal to 3, I is equal to 1. Now, I am going to solve one case for explaining how it becomes, how to find the values. How to find the values. Now let us see, first I am taking length is equal to 2, I is equal to 1. In this case, j is equal to I plus length, that is 3, and I less than or equal to k less than j, that is 1 less than or equal to k less than 3. Now here k value is 1 or k lies between 1 and 3. There is an integer between 1 and 3, which is nothing but 2. That is k is equal to 2. Here k takes two values. One value is 1 and other value is 2. K is equal to 1 or k lies between 1 and 3. 1 and 3, 2 is there. So that's why k value becomes 2. Now how to find the cost? Cost of Ij, that is 1, 3 is equal to minimum of, now let us see, cost of Ik, what is I? 1, k is 2 plus cost of k plus 1 j plus pi minus 1, that is p0 into pk, that is p2 into pj, that is p3. Now one more k value is there. What are those? What is that k value? 2. Now let us take C Ik. I is 1, k is 1. Here I taken k value as 2. I is 1, k is 2. K k plus 1. Here this is k plus 1, this is j. Here I taken k value, here this becomes, if I take pi minus 1, 0, pk 2. Here this is I minus 1, this is k and this is j. Okay. Now here I taken k value as 2. Now here I am going to take k value as 1. That is ik. I is 1, k is 1 plus c k plus 1. K plus 1 means 2, j which is 3 plus pi minus 1 which is nothing but p naught, pk that is which is p1 and p3 which is nothing but pj. Here pi minus 1, pk, pj. Now here let us find these values. Minimum of C12, cost of 12. What is cost of 12? 1200 plus 0 plus P naught. P naught is 30 into P2. P2 is 40 into P3. P3 value is 10. Next, if you take this one, 0 plus cost of 2, 3. Here cost of 2, 3 we get 400 plus P naught. What is P naught? 30. P1. P1 is 1 into P3. P3 is 10. Obviously, if you see these two, we will get this as the minimum value. Now here what is this value? 30 into 10, we will get 300 plus 400 which is nothing but 700. For k is equal to 1, we get a minimum value of 700 for cost of 13. Here that is 13, we get 700 and for k value 1. In the same way, you can solve the remaining cases to find the remaining costs which are nothing but cost of 14 and cost of 24. You will get cost of 14 as 1400 for k value 1 and you will get cost of 24 as 650 for k value 3. You can find the remaining values. Now, how to find the optimal parenthesization? By finding all these values. Now, I am going to explain that. Let us see. Here, what is the final k value? S14. What is the final value? Cost of 14 finally we are finding. The final case is cost of 14, that is S14 which is nothing but k value which is equal to 1. We are taking the final value as root node which is nothing but S14. Okay, the root node is S14. That is Sij. Here I value is 1, j value is 4. Now, I am taking I value is 1, j value as 4. In between I and j, while we are finding the cost, what we placed? K and k plus 1. How we find the cost? Cik plus Ck plus 1 j. That is in between Ij, we used k and k plus 1. That's why here I kept k plus 1. Now in this case, k value is 1. So I placed k as 1 and k plus 1 as 2. This becomes right subtree and this becomes left subtree. That is S11 becomes left subtree and S24 becomes right subtree. Now we can take S11 as A11, the matrix A1. Now coming to S24. Here what is I value? I value is 2, j value is 4 and S24 value is 3 which is nothing but k. Here I is 2, j is 4 and k is 3, k plus 1 is 4. This becomes left subtree and this becomes right subtree. Here I divided this one S23 and S44. This S44 can be taken as A4. Coming to S23, here S23 means I is 2, j is 3 and whose value is 2. If you observe S23 whose value is 2. Now k value, this 2 itself becomes k value. Here I is 3, j is 3. In between I and j we have k and k plus 1, 2 and 3. This becomes left subtree and this becomes right subtree. Here S22 which is left subtree and S33 which is right subtree. Here S22 means the matrix A2, S33 means matrix A3. Now that is these two are multiplied. That is A2 into A3 are multiplied. The result is multiplied with A4, that is A2 into A3 into A4. The result obtained by the multiplication of these two is multiplied with A4, that is A2 into A3 into A4. We will get this one. This is multiplied with A1, that is we are getting this one is A1. So here A1 is multiplied with these two, which gives the optimal parenthization of given sequence of matrices. The optimal parenthization of given sequence of matrices, which is nothing but cost of 1400. So totally it can be multiplied. This entire matrices, the sequence of matrices can be multiplied with 1400 multiplications. 1400 multiplications. I hope all of you understood the matrix chain multiplication problem. Now I am going to summarize the concepts that we discussed in this session. In this session, we discussed about the problem statement of matrix chain multiplication. We seen how to calculate the optimal parenthization for the given sequence of matrices by taking an example, and also we seen how to represent the matrix chain multiplication, that is sequence of matrices using tree structure. Now for solving or for generalizing this matrix chain multiplication problem, how to develop and how to analyze the algorithm using dynamic programming, and also we analyzed the algorithm by taking an example. Now to assess yourself here, I given some questions. Answer these questions. The first question is, in matrix chain multiplication, option A, we can explain the process of multiplication of two matrices. Option B, we can find the optimal parenthesizing of given sequence of matrices. Option C, we cannot do parenthesizing. Option D, none. The next question is, matrix chain multiplication is option A, optimization problem. Option B, decision problem. Option C, both. Option D, none. The next one is, consider the following four matrices. Show how to multiply this matrix chain multiplication optimally. Here I given four matrices and their dimensions. Now by taking these dimensions, find the optimal order of parenthization for these four matrices and what is the cost you required to multiply these matrices. In preparing this presentation, I used the digital content from various public sources. This is only used for educational purpose and not for any commercial purposes. Thank you for listening the session.